What's up, guys? Justin Brock here. And after many technical difficulties this morning, I have the wonderful Tracy Lownsberry on with me. And I am excited because he's made some transitions that a lot of you I know are trying to make, a lot of transitions that you want to make. Um, Many of you do. And so I'd like to take a moment to talk to him about this transition. And Tracy's got a good repertoire. He started out doing a lot of Medicare and transitioned into the annuity side pretty in a strong way. Made a quick showing and really never looked back. He started not too long ago the Annuity Giants Facebook group, which has grown tremendously because, to be honest, there was nobody out there really teaching people how to start, how to get into it, especially Medicare and health insurance agents that wanted to make that transition. And Tracy has some new stuff coming out that's pretty awesome. And so we're going to talk about that. But first, Tracy, thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you.
Thanks for having me, dude. I appreciate you.
Absolutely. So tell us about this transition you've made, because I know a lot of people, want to do that. I mean, you started Medicare, right?
Yep. Yep. Started Medicare in 2017 and worked for a captive company, and then um, partnered with a financial advisor and started learning annuity stuff, but did Medicare. It's actually funny. When I partnered with him, I didn't want to do annuities. I didn't like annuities. I didn't want to get my Series 65. I actually took it and failed. Didn't like the number side. I was so driven to continue the Medicare that I just didn't want. I didn't want to get my focus shifted. And it wasn't until after I had a bad breakup with that guy that I realized I knew a little bit more than I thought I knew about annuities compared to kind of industry average. And I thought, well, why not just give it a whirl, start transitioning and start doing more of it and actually being proactive? And that's where I kind of fell in love with it and transitioned fully.
Yeah. Well, well, that's awesome, man. So, on the annuity side now, and I think we talked a while back and you had said you're pretty much solely focused on annuity production now. Are you doing any Medicare or is it just like by referral only? Uh,
Yeah. Yeah, so I am still. So my office is still branded. So I have a big sign, then I have a little hanger sign, and the big sign is still Up North Medicare. The hanger sign is Up North Retirement. So
okay.
I still do Medicare. I really don't know how many policies I write a month. But when people walk in, I'll book appointments with them. When I get referrals, I'll book appointments. But I just don't actively seek it out because Medicare's it still has a special place in my heart. I don't think I'll ever stop it. Just because I love the feeling of being able to save somebody money or helping somebody who, if they were to go through somebody else, probably would get shafted. So it's something that's special to me, and it's also still a great transition to the annuity side. AEP is right around the corner, and I may or may not have done AHIP already. I have not, so I need to get a lot of that stuff done.
Well,
It
we
would
pulled
definitely,
RTS reports for our whole downline yesterday, and I was like going through and texting a bunch of our agents, like, "Hey, you're not showing up," and they're like, doing them now," and I'm like, "Okay." And
yeah.
then a lot of it was my top producers were some of the ones that waited till last minute.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. It's in Medicare's. It's a fantastic avenue for, I think, for any agent, whether you're seasoned or you're new. I think it's great for everybody, and you really can't argue with the residual income either. So helping clients, making money doing it, you can't. I don't think I'll ever not do it. I say that maybe we'll see. I guess.
Yeah, but the annuity side has taken a stronghold. What made you start the Annuity Giants Facebook group? Like, what was
That's a great
the
question.
catalyst that made you think, "Well, I'll try this"?
Well, obviously, because you're kind of like the pioneer for groups, or your group is. There's a lot of groups out there, right? So to me, I was kind of gun shy, and I saw these different groups popping up, and it was great. And then it started kind of get out of hand, and I thought to myself as I transitioned to annuities, what if I started an annuity group? And I asked some people about them, and some said you should, some said you should not, and I was like, you know what? I'll just do it. I'll just do it. I was actually going to an event, and I had paid to that event and to speak and all that stuff, and I didn't really have anything to kind of promote. I was just kind of doing it for exposure, and I didn't really know why. I didn't sell a course really. I did coaching programs, but that was it. So I was like, you know what? I'll start a group and promote it. And I worked with a designer for the logo, and we went back and forth, and finally we landed on the name and the logo, and had no intention at the time that the group was going to do what it did, and it just kind of blew up after a short period of time. And I thought, okay, how do I want to go about how do I want this group to stand out? And there's so many groups out there, and there's a handful of them that I really like. Yours is one of them. And I didn't want it to be like a sales pitch, or I really wanted to keep it tight. And so I was blocking people and deleting people left and right. Like, hey, if you're not from the U.S., you're probably not going to be in my group because you shouldn't be selling annuities if you're not from the U.S. anyways. I don't even think you can. So just blocking people left and right, and I just made it the community very tight knit community. So just started providing value and started getting feedback, and it was like, oh, I got to keep doing this. It sounds like there's nobody that's doing this. I have had people create Facebook profiles just to join the group, multiple, probably hundreds by now that have done that. Like, oh, I'm not on Facebook, and then they would get a referral. Hey, you should join this group, and they just create a Facebook account just to join. So yeah, it's cool,
You
man.
know that two things I think that have made your group successful. One, it's a niche, and I don't think there was a ton were focused, and you simplify it. The name is simple, Annuity Giants.
Right.
It's not just like Medicare Gurus. It's not, some of them I see out there, but like Annuity and Final Expense and Mortgage Protection Specialists of America. Like
Right.
nobody's going to find that. But yours is simple. I think one of the biggest
Right.
groups out there just says life insurance agents, and
Yep.
I don't, that group particularly I'm not a fan of, but it certainly is easy to find.
Right.
And but also another thing that made it work, I think, is because you participated in other communities for a long time and you give advice and you would communicate, that when you started the group, people knew your name. And so it's like, oh, this is Tracy's group, I'll join Tracy's group. Whereas
Right.
if you're just somebody who never participated, never helped, popped into a group, added everybody, and then started trying to recruit them to a group, it doesn't work well. And that's what people don't get, is I try to tell people all the time in our group, if you add value and communicate with people over time, they'll build a relationship just by saying, oh, Tracy had helped me there. Tracy, good advice from Tracy, good advice from Tracy, good advice from Tracy. Then when Tracy has something to ask for, it's like, and then of course the small ask, join my group for annuities. It's separate. Then people will do that. So, so that's what I think made it successful. So on the, and I saw that group pick up traction quick. It's something that we don't talk about as much. You've actually helped our top annuity producer inside a lot for free, which I know you can't do that all the time, but I guess we had a good enough relationship where you thought enough of us to help us out. So
definitely,
but it's definitely helped our annuity production out, because you know the way, you know the light. So it's helped Stark out, and now he's training another one of ours in house. And so
awesome.
we kind of envision, down the road, our core team that sees people locally in our local office, we kind of see them all becoming, well versed in annuities, majority of them. And I used to not be that way. I used to think, oh, I'll just have one guy that does annuities. But now I'm like, wait a minute, we could really maximize the output of this by
Definitely.
doing so. So tell me, I know you have, you've evolved now. You've tried to restructure, and me and you had talked a while back, trying to restructure to where you can create the balance you want in life,
Definitely.
And I think you've taken some time to streamline some processes and training. And I know you have a new training platform. So tell me a little bit about that.
Yeah, so kind of a precursor. The group. I spend a lot of time in the group. I will. The other day, somebody messaged me something, and I was like, man, I don't have a video on that. So I hopped in StreamYard, and I shot some content on it, and I edited it and put it in. By the time it was done and put up there, it was noon. I just blew through 4 hours of my day, or 3 hours of my day, because I'm not super skilled at that stuff yet, and I don't have a team to do it. But something that it's really important to me is just, there's so much misinformation, and obviously you see it on the Medicare side. I've seen it on the Medicare side. On the annuity side, it's a little bit different because you go and sell somebody an annuity and put them in there and you lock them in for 10 years. It's a little bit different than a Medicare supplement or Advantage plan. They can hop out, and as long as they're healthy on the sup side and Advantage side, they can hop out, within certain enrollment periods. It's not as detrimental to somebody as an annuity can be. So it's super serious, and I take it very serious. I'm a pretty lighthearted guy, and I like to laugh and giggle and be funny and whatnot, but I take it really serious when it comes to people's financial freedom and how hard they work for their retirement. So with that, I was trying to find. I had bought courses, I had went to events, and I was trying to find something that was just a solid training program that kind of had my spin on things, because I do things a little bit different. I've done virtual, I've done in person, I've done seminars, I've done referral partnerships and networking, I've done cross selling. At this stage, even though I haven't been doing it for very long, I would say that I've damn near done most avenues to find annuity prospects. So we've been trying to do the annuity stuff for a while now, and what's interesting. Sorry, the UPS guy just came in. What's interesting is, give me one second. I don't have my secretary in my office right now, so she'd be the first line of defense. So, anyways, so with annuities, what's important is when you have a training program, that the first thing is knowledge, right? So you have to build a good foundation for anybody, and it's not just with annuities, obviously, it's with everything. But the foundation with annuities is so important, and I, as one person, can't go and sit down with every single person that's interested from an agent standpoint and train them one on one. It's not what my focus, and my focus is to produce, to stay on top of everything. If I don't produce, I'm not going to stay on top of everything the way I want it to. So when we built out the training program, which has been in the works for well over a year now, we've been shooting content. We looked the other day, there was over 256 gigabytes of content that I had shot throughout the last year to year and a half to put in this program. So accuracy and building that foundation was a really big part of it. And still, it is a living document, so to speak. It will be updated till the end of time.
Yeah. Well, it became a big thing for us when we did, Go Guru University, to have something. We ended up, now when we hire people, we hired 5 new agents for this AEP, where we put them in Go Guru University. It's the first place they go to start learning things. So, and then, now we're starting to add the technical stuff to it as well. But it's certainly impactful, and we don't have anything in there, annuity wise, like very small stuff. Like yours has got to be, 256 gigs worth of that side of the aisle. Is pretty robust, man. So kudos. And I know how long it takes, because it was something I wanted to do, and I actually didn't do it until COVID shut everything down. And during the shutdown, I was like, well, I got a lot of free time, so I sat there and recorded just mountains. That's when the original Medicare Academy came out, because of that. But yeah, so hey, I got a couple more questions for you, but I just real quick just have a little interruption from our sponsor, Go Guru. It's time to grow your agency like a guru. Introducing Go Guru Pro. The Go High Level platform allows for minimizing software-based subscriptions and grants control over several facets of marketing and communication. Automate your workflow, communicate with your leads, book appointments in advance, and house all your clients in one secure location. Visit goguru.pro and schedule your one-on-one demo today. Hey, goguru.pro, man.
Dude, that's nice. You got a good marketing team.
Yeah, they do a great job, man. The Go Guru has been awesome for us, and we're very passionate about working and creating it, as I'm sure you are, with the Annuity Giants
Agents Academy.
Annuity Giant AGA.
Yeah. It's the annuitygiants.com, because somebody who I think I know who it is stole annuitygiants.com right as I was about to buy it. So that's,
oh man.
yeah.
Well, the annuitygiants.com. It's funny you say that. I had bought years ago. I was trying to rebrand a company called Medigap Broker, and I had medigapbroker.com, but back then it was just me, and I was using like Squarespace, and I dropped the domain after the first year. I didn't renew it. And then I was like, you know what? I'm going to go back. I'm going to build this. I'm finally going to, build this thing out better. And I went back and somebody had taken it. And so then I got the medigapbroker.com,
Yep.
which now I don't own. I don't think I own either one of those. Uh, but yeah, that was my thing, was in the Medigap broker.
It's a good one.
We've gone through so many, man. Then I had my Medicare today. Yeah, thankfully, eventually I figured out, okay, just pick something and just go with it,
Right.
because the
Yeah.
name is not gonna make you anything. It's the persistence behind the name. So,
Right.
but man, it's awesome, to see, your success, and see a different path for someone that is fruitful. Because I like to tell people all the time, there's a lot of ways to make money. Uh,
For sure.
there's a lot of ways to skin a cat. But we do see the annuity commissions, when we write them, and most of ours are, like you said, cross selling the Medicare side, which is one of the ways you've done it. We haven't done a lot of the direct annuity marketing, though it's on my radar. And having your course and your consult on that, I'm sure is going to help us
Definitely.
skip some expensive hurdles. But I mean, the commissions are, and I don't say that like in a way that's trying to take away the value. Makes sense. The people we're putting it there for makes sense.
Yep.
And the reason the commission is high is because it's difficult to find the right prospect for it. And so an insurance carrier that has that product built for someone pays well for you to find, identify, and sell their product. But the commission side of it is extremely appealing, because you've we run into a lot of small ones, 50, 75, 80,000. But occasionally you run into, we had a couple one not long ago, it was 900,000 between the two of them.
Wow.
um, they had a bigger portfolio, but that was the portion we did in annuities. And you have something like that, it can change a whole month, the whole quarter.
Oh
Uh,
yeah.
so it's been very impactful for us, as I'm sure it is you and many people that make that transition. And the thing is, guys, like, I don't know what the cost on your course is, or doing business with Tracy is. I'll let him say that here in just a second. But the you really, if you're in Medicare or health insurance, you find one prospect a month, and you can make a handsome amount of money off of that. So it doesn't have to become a full focus. It can become a
Right.
cross-sell thing that you just identify. Like, you'll be talking to somebody one day, and if you have the right information in your head, you'll hear something, or you'll say things better so that you can identify who those people are. Um,
Absolutely.
so tell me what, if people want to get in touch with you, obviously the annuitygiants.com.
Yep.
What is the like cost? I know you have different tiers or different levels of access. Tell me just a little breakdown on that.
Yeah. So basically it's actually it's a combination of myself and then another guy. His name is Chad Owen. Myself and Chad. Chad's been doing this for a lot longer than me, and I think he's approaching 300 million in annuities sold between the two of us. I think we're probably already at 300 million. And so basically there's three levels to it. And the first level, we wanted to make sure that it was super affordable for anybody. So the first level is 47 bucks a month. You can pay upfront for the year and get 2 months off. And it's basically my selling system and Chad's selling system. So there is some overlap there. But what's different about us is I book my own appointments, and so does Chad. I sit down in my own appointments, and so does Chad. I write my own apps, and so does Chad. We're actually producers first, and I think that's very different. As well as the process we use is completely replicatable. It's completely plug and play, which that's really hard to find in the industry. Everybody's got their niche, right? Oh, I work with federal retirement program, or I have this great networking event, or I've built up this, brick and mortar for 30 years. Well, that's long term, right? That's not a plug and play. We use lead vendors. You guys can all purchase through those lead vendors, and you can all do it the same way. So that was really important to us. So you can get both our selling systems for 47 bucks a month, or pay up front for 2 months off. Yeah, the next one is called the Pro Plus. It's 197, and you get a lecture series. You get e-courses, which is there's videos on there with me sitting down with clients and have it completely recorded. Just a whole slew. It's basically a bucket. We just put every other type of content in this bucket and throw it in there. documents, leave behind, point of sale documents, everything that we use, fact finders. We have a live Q&A webinar that we do every single week that you get a part of that, as well as our downline agents. And then we show you our leads and marketing plan as well. And then the next step up is it's $5.97 a month, and that's an email drip marketing. Basically, it's the same thing as Pro Plus, only you get an email drip marketing guide. It's the reason why it's such a big step up, because there's a lot that goes into it. We have a big kind of back end team support that does that. I would say that and this isn't me trying to take away from it, but if you're a newer agent, go from the first level to the second level to the third level. Don't just jump into the $5.97. I don't want you to throw a bunch of money at something and then not utilize the whole thing because you just get overwhelmed. I think that's something that happens with agents, is they just get overwhelmed. So we don't want that. We want you to take it step by step by step. And then I do have a mentorship program. You'll see it on the site when you go there. That's basically one-on-one coaching with me. I limit that to 10 people. We already have, I think, 4 in it right now. That price varies based on your situation. We want to make that affordable, but at the same time, if you need a lot more of my time, it's going to be higher. So you can set a schedule call with me for that one.
Perfect. Awesome, man. Well, thank you again, Tracy. Super excited to have you on, and it's been real. And anybody looking to get in touch with Tracy has got my full support. He's the real deal. Actually practices what he preached. I've seen him make the transition, and his information has helped our team internally. So I don't endorse everyone, but I definitely endorse Tracy. So head over there and check it out. If you need anything, let me know. And again, if you want to head on over to GoGuru as well, goguru.pro. Yes, .pro. https://goguru.pro. Check it out. Schedule a demo today. Thanks, guys. It's time to grow your agency like a guru. Introducing GoGuru Pro. The Go High Level platform allows for minimizing software-based subscriptions and grants control over several facets of marketing and communication. Automate your workflow, communicate with your leads, book appointments in advance, and house all your clients in one secure location. Visit goguru.pro and schedule your one-on-one demo today.